Hey, so this week for the leadership note, I am giving you guys a video because I think it'll be easier for me to explain this over video than to write this out. But I want to try to give you my own personal experience with put off, put on, and see if that helps you out this week in group because I would love for everyone to try this in group. And I would also say you may need to do this for a couple weeks in a row. The truth and lies section is really valuable. When I was working with my mentor, we would do this every single week. And I really love the habitual nature of that. That was really helpful because there's new lies every single week. There's new lies every single day. But let's dive into put off, put on. So for me, I remember when I originally started doing this that one thing that was super helpful for me was knowing that like you were to do the opposite. And one of the things that my mentor did that was super helpful was he had me define whatever it was I wanted to put off. So before you end up figuring out what you want to put on, define what it is that you're putting off. So for me, I was trying to put off cursing, as silly as that sounds, or maybe if you know me, maybe know I still potentially struggle with that. But so define cursing. Well, for me, cursing was when I would think about it, like, all right, what's cursing? Well, cursing is saying, hey, someone doesn't deserve something. Like they cut you off. Oh, they don't deserve that spot in front of me. They don't deserve those things. So what's the opposite of that? So most people would go, the opposite of cursing is just not cursing and saying wholesome things, right? But if you flip that definition, like what I ended up finding was that it was talking gracious to people, right? So the opposite of saying they don't deserve something is saying, hey, is acknowledging they don't deserve something, but they do, right? So in other words, the gospel. But for me, it was like, if it's not cursing, right, then if I'm just replacing, like, let's say I use the F word, right? If I replace the F word with fudge or front door or these other things that like aren't technically curse words, I'm still cursing, if that makes sense. So in essence, I'm still doing the act I'm trying to stop. I was just using different language. So that gives you a really good example of like, watch out for the things that people switch. And is it actually getting rid of the habit or is it still there? And then the other one that I think is even more valuable was I realized at the time that I needed to give up saying or being sarcastic. It had reached a point for me that it was becoming unhealthy. I think Anthony talked today about how it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's sinful. So for me, like, you know, the being sarcastic wasn't necessarily something that was sinful, but it was something that was a problem in my life and just was unhealthy, right? And so I had to define that. And for me, the way that I defined it was using truth to tear people down was pretty much how I ended up coming up with the definition. And because I believe that sarcasm always, in order for it to work, it has to have some sort of truth to it. And when you put on the opposite, it's all right, using truth to build people up. And I swear to you guys, it took me an entire year. Like I have an email that I sent to my mentor talking about this like a year later. I don't know why it took so long, but I remember when I was in that session, those original sessions, I didn't know what it was. And I realized it's encouragement, right? And so be patient with the people today, this week, as you go into it. They may know what they want to put off, but they're not necessarily sure what they want to put on. It helps for them to find what they think it might be and for them to like learn in that. But the other thing I learned through that is that whatever it is that you struggle with, whatever you want to put off, there's a good chance that you have a strength at it. So I was really good at identifying truth, right? And I have learned that like I can use that same skill of learning to identify truths extremely quickly to use it to encourage people right away as well. So like I remember that first example that they had in church today of being a complainer or being someone who praises. I guarantee you everyone who is very good at complaining will also figure out ways to be very good at praising others and those kind of things. So I hope that encourages you in this week. Let them know that, you know, hey, these may be things that you're supernatural with, but like allow that gift to be used in a positive way and use it to glorification of God. So I hope that helped you guys this week. And if you get stuck, please reach out. We love to help you guys and partner with you. Take care.